Good morning, dear friends. Happy Monday to you. Hope you had a beautiful weekend and ready to wrap things up in November. Today's the second last day of November, and this is a really great time for us to be reflecting on our usual letting go guidance session as we step into December. So, like I say, November's been a really powerful month. I hope you've been feeling that and just pacing yourself with all the different pieces around the eclipse. So talking about the eclipse, we started off, we're in a 2-week window of eclipse. We started with a lunar eclipse, and then this sort of window, if you like, closes on Saturday. We have a solar eclipse. We also have a new moon. So this is a really excellent time to be really starting to create some space and time to reflect upon who have you become in 2021. Have you kind of taken on maybe some self-imposed rules or philosophies or ideas that it was to do with whatever the challenge or the situation that you were in, but maybe it's not part of what you want to take forward with you in 2022. So this is the perfect week to reflect upon that. Don't get too heavy or beating yourself up about it, but we live in some amazing times. So if you think about the new moon and the eclipse, the solar eclipse is in the sign of Sagittarius. It's all about philosophy. What's your philosophy? What's your story? What do you tell about yourself? What do you tell to yourself? And is it in alignment with the bestest version of you? So this might be a good time to reflect, to let go, to face forward. What is it that you want to experience, to be, to create? Obviously, we always are co-creating. So these are little pieces for you to just let percolate. Let yourself tap into your inner wisdom, to the little whispers that are always there. We all have access to these little whispers and these pieces of guidance, but sometimes that means just hand over your heart and take some deep breaths. Because of course, you are the creator of your philosophy, of your story. And if it's not resonating and it's not feeling auspicious and audacious and awesome, what can you do? How can you tweak it? What choices can you make? Because that's where your power is. Now, all that being said, I wanted to just kind of feel into the energies that we're sitting in as we start stepping into December. And then, like I say, that new moon and solar eclipse is on Saturday, which I believe is the 4th. But to go along with what I just said, what we're going to be focused on letting go is attachment. So isn't that perfectly timed with what I just said? Where do you have attachments to maybe limited thinking, beliefs, things that hold you back? Where does that come up? How does that come up? And see what can you do to let go. And I've told you before, the idea of letting go, sometimes it's just a case of recognizing that you've got an attachment or a belief or a thought and saying, that was then, this is now, and I'm choosing something different. Other times you need to journal them, to speak them out, to ask for help. And so if any of that ever comes up for you, always make sure that you reach out. Don't sit and try and work something out that feels a bit too sticky for you. Or if you want some resources, you can put it in the comments below or message me directly. Just to see, maybe you need to talk to somebody, or maybe you need to be pointed in the direction of a resource. Things of that nature. So we are going to work on letting go of attachment this week and then experience that new moon solar eclipse energy on Saturday over the weekend. So that's the perfect time to maybe pick your one-word theme for 2022. Maybe start writing down some of your intentions and just do it at your right pace and your rhythm. This is all about finding the best flavor for you. Now, all that being said, I'm going to read out of my book here what some ideas about attachment to help you really sort of unpack this and go a wee bit deeper. So for this, I start off with a quote from the Dalai Lama. And he says, most of our troubles are due to our passionate desire for and attachment to things that we misapprehend as enduring entities. It's about flow. When we get attached to something or are a wee bit rigid about something, maybe we're blocking the actual flow of life through us and around us and being in harmony with it. And again, that's going back to that piece about Sagittarius, helping us get into what's your philosophy? What's the philosophy of you in this life? So something we all have in common is that we want to feel happy. And on the flip side of that coin, we want to avoid hurting. Yet we consistently put ourselves in situations that set us up for pain. At times we attach to our feelings of happiness to people, events, or situations, and then feel like we have to hold on to them for dear life in order to maintain that sense of happiness. It is time for you to try the concept of a light hold. This is not just about releasing attachments. It is also, in fact, about maintaining healthy relationships. Truth be told, you are not someone else's half. You are both separate and whole. You can still hold somebody close to your heart. Just remember, if you squeeze too tightly, you'll both be smothered. And so I really like that because, of course, all relationship starts you with you. So isn't this the best time to be looking into what's your philosophy about relationship? What's your philosophy about attachment? And put down the ones that have served you. One of the best ways I know how to put down something that doesn't serve me anymore is to show it appreciation. So let's say you had a belief or a pattern or a habit that you're really attached to. This is the way I've always done it. And have a whole story about it. But then you come to realize that it's limiting you doing something you really want, something that makes your heart sing. So then you say to that habit or that pattern, thank you. I appreciate you. I appreciate what it did in that time, right? But then you put it down. And that's a really great way to put something down that doesn't serve you. And then you get to investigate and take on something else that fulfills that creation that you're trying to co-create with the universe, but also that version of you that you're becoming. Hope that makes sense. I'm shuffling the tarot cards here. I'm going to pull one tarot card and then 3 of the angel cards, just to help us get really clear on releasing attachments, stepping forward into this auspicious event of the new moon and solar eclipse. And this is excellent. What's come up for us today is the King of Cups. So the king is the masculine energy. That's the doing, taking actions, writing things down, setting goals. That's really beautifully indicated for the new moon energy. But Cups is all about emotion. So I'm really encouraging you to not only look at as big a picture of your life as you can, release attachments that do not fit or suit or are a part of what you want to experience and create in 2022, and then see what attachments do you need to let go. And again, like I say, with loving acceptance, with appreciation, that because all patterns and habits that we take on for ourselves, they were based upon what was right at that time. But then we get stuck sometimes because then we just, it's like that, getting stuck in a rut and saying, oh, well, this is the way I do it, without questioning, without checking in. So this week ahead is the time to just have that light hold and check, is this really the truth for me? So now, as you probably noticed, I was shuffling the Doreen Virtuo's Healing with the Angels cards, and this is beautiful. So this is what I'm saying to you. Study your attachments and your story about what makes your heart sing or what brings you happiness. Study it. And then also listen. Listen to the guidance of your soul, your core, your higher self, and your guidance, source energy, whatever it is you feel, that higher power, listen. And when I say listen, sometimes that means paying attention to signs around you, listening to a podcast or some piece of information, but also listen to the random things that just drop in out of nowhere. Because sometimes that is the universe saying, do this. And focusing on your abundance. Focusing on your abundance and actually wanting to create more of what makes you happy and lights you up. So I hope you can feel into the power of this week and then what we get to experience over the weekend coming. I wish you a beautiful week ahead. Like I said, if you have any areas that you need a wee bit of help on this idea of releasing attachment, just let me know. I can help you go deeper if you need to, or to unpack it more. I wish you a beautiful week, like I said, and thank you so much for watching. Much love. I'll be back here with you again next week.